Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy MumboElite. Welcome back to another video. And today I'm going to show you guys some really cool special card method trading. If you do enjoy, smack the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's get it. So first and foremost, we have another video on the channel with this. This is going to be kind of an updated one on what you can do week in, week out. So if you want to see that video, I will put the trading playlist in the description. You can click into there and find it there. But this works a lot of the time, especially when the current promo is out in packs and they're cheap. So one, these have a buy now of 10.5. These are the Scream cards. They have their 99 stats on them currently, but at some point these are going to go away in terms of the promos ending tomorrow, and they're going to get their second temporary boost at a later point. It says here Thursday, December 4th. So in the hype of that, and also with these being out of packs, like every other promo, cards that are out of packs, even the low-end ones, slowly rise. Now, there's a few different factors that kind of indicate whether or not cards are going to be easier to flip when they're out of packs as a promo versus if they aren't. And one of those is Team of the Weeks. So if we go to Team of the Weeks and we go to the market right now, what is the cheapest Team of the Week? 13K, 13.5, 14K. Looks like almost everything goes by the end of the hour for 14K plus, which is absolutely crazy to me. Also, a side note on this, we're going to make another video discussing this. From this point on, 83s are the lowest rating that Team of the Weeks are going to have. There's an 81 plus SBC on the menus for unlimited Team of the Week untradeable packs. So the things that are going to be impossible to find and slowly going to be eaten up by people putting them into SBCs is 80 rated cards. If you can find these 80 rated cards, probably not now when these are all 14K plus, but if we see informs dip down closer to like 11, 12K, if you can pick these up, these are going to be more and more rare, and you can make really easy coins once these become in existence. So I would just like chuck one of each in your club at those lower prices, but right now I wouldn't be doing that. But anyways, why do I bring up Team of the Week prices? Because there is a special card filter that we always do, and it's special cards. If we go to 10.5K, usually special cards are hard to find because the Team of the Weeks are so cheap. But then when the Team of the Weeks go to 11K, 12K, usually the special cards typically match that price. So right now, with everything being so cheap, you really have to scroll to get to the 59th minute to see other promo cards from other teams. Here we have one right here. We'll pick up Gomez. Gomez is one that I flip all the time for 12K plus. We just picked him up right here, live on video, and it looks like we could already get a 13K sale for him. Now, there's some issues when it comes to selling at this time versus waiting for the current promo cards to get out of packs. Right now, with the market being so cheap for these Screams, it's going to be harder to get to the 59th minute and find these cards. You can search up Cornerstone's promo, all these old promos, if you want to find those cards quicker. But I find just kind of scrolling to the 59th minute, you find a ton of good deals. Now, if it takes a little bit longer to sell, or these are kind of hidden in plain sight because you can't get to the 59th minute as fast, another thing you can start doing to make even more coins is looking for chem styles on the card. If you can put on good chem styles, for example, if we did, let's start with a Hunter, and then we'll work our way to shadows and stuff too. But if we go to 13K, you'll notice there's not many cards on the market under 12K that have a Hunter on it. So right here, this could potentially be a good pickup for Dalvin. I would consider it. You kind of want to make sure a Hunter makes sense for the position. So if we saw this on a center back, probably wouldn't be as good. But if we look here, 14.5 is the cheapest Hunter I'm currently seeing. 14.5, and those aren't selling. So there's a chance I could win this card and potentially list it for 14K. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to win that card, and we're going to list it for 14K. And of course, the menu is going to glitch now. All right, we're back. So I'm going to list this up for 14K. If we can get a sale at 14K for this card, that's going to be a little over 1,000 coins profit for just this one. The nice thing with having the chem styles already on them, obviously, a Hunter is usually extinct at 5K. This card already on the market is 11K plus. So if people are going to buy a Hunter card and put it on the card, it'd be more expensive than if they'd find one that already has the existing one on it, which gives these more value. So these are more likely to sell. a lot quicker and for higher prices usually with those things combined. If you can find good chem styles on the card at the lower prices when you're looking for that 10.5, 10.75 filter, that works really good too, because obviously the cheaper you can get it, the more coins you can make as well. Now we'll go over some more snipe and I'll show you maybe what I do per team as well. But let me show you kind of how you can check this for open bids, because there's times on the market where it might make sense to just sit here and open bid. So I'm going to start with the max price of 10.5. Start with a minimum buy now of nothing, and we'll change that in a second to show you kind of a different market, because right now we're getting a ton of Team of the Weeks to pop up. And as you notice, some of these have a minimum start price of 9.8, which we know special cards, usually if it's a promo card, 10.25 is the lowest you would normally see. So right now, everything's like 20, 30 minutes out. It feels like there's not that many cards in the market, but if we tweak this a little bit, do a 10.25 start, there's actually way more cards than you might consider. Now, a couple things you can do with this. I talked about the Scream cards before. If I picked up these Scream cards for 10.25 for these 84 rated ones, the quick sell value is essentially the same price as the 10.25. So you can make really good coins on that. We're also finding cards that are no longer in packs, as you see here, and they're just flooding the market. There is not a ton of eyes on these. I could go out maybe like 5-10 minutes, and any card I see here, place a bid. Now, how much exactly do you want to bid? Some of these, it might make sense bidding a little bit more, a little bit less, but my rule of thumb is usually 10.5, 10.75 if it's an 85, usually works well. But you could always compare price beforehand, see a card that you're happy with, compare price, see how much it goes for. Like if I bid 10.5 on this, I'm not seeing many cards on the market right now for under 20K. I'm sure there's cards under 20K for this one. I have to search the lowest buy now, but if I just bid 10.5, there's probably a good chance I'm going to get outbid on my card there. Now, you'll notice I didn't check for the 59th minute up to the 59th minute for the cheapest on the market. I kind of did the last like 10 to 15 minutes. The reason I do that is people don't always buy at the cheapest buy nows. A lot of time people buy at the end of the hour, and if they feel like the price is somewhat decent, they'll just pick it up and take it without really putting too much time or research in. But as you see here, we reset the filter, we do it all over again, and there's a lot more cards popping up that weren't there before. Side note, you see this card right here we're picking up for 10.5. It has a buy now of 11.25. That might not seem like that great of a deal to pick up, but I'm telling you what we can do is with these cards, if we don't have one in the club already, chuck it in the club, wait till all special cards are back up to like 11K, 12K plus. That way, even the ones out of packs are up as well, and they're not hidden anymore by the current promo, and those will rise back up in value, and you'll make easier sales. Another thing you can do with that too, if you ever have any untradeable chem styles in your club that you're never going to use on your players, feel free to try, and Gomez already sold for 13K W. Try putting a chem style. It could be maybe not even one of the popular ones. If you have a defender and there's a defender play style outside of maybe the anchor and shadow that you have untradeable that you don't plan to put on your player, chuck it on the card, see if it gives it a little bit more value. It makes it easier to sell. But we do this over and over. So again, we bid 10.25. The quick sell is a 2-coin loss. So if you ever wanted to go unassigned on these or use this as an investment, chuck one in your club, forget about it. What I feel like is going to happen is not only will these rise back up, we're going to have the case where people don't know what the next stat boost is going to be, and they're prematurely going to want to buy these cards to have it ready in their club. And then once the stat gets upgraded, if it's a really good stat, people will want to continue buying, but probably not as high of a price. But if it's not a good stat, if people aren't happy with the stat that has 99, they'll want to sell them back to the market, and the price will start crashing again. So for these, we picked it up for 10.25. I have nothing to lose here. I'm going to try to list these for 12K. I might even do 11.75. And if we can consistently make sales, I'm going to keep picking more up. This one, like I said before, his buy now is not as high as it once was. Doesn't mean that other one can't sell. Doesn't mean people aren't going to buy it for higher than 10.5. I'm going to list this for 12K, and if we can get that to sell, that's over 1,000 coins profit on the card. Worst case scenario, if it's taking a bid and it's still not selling, I'm just going to chuck it in my club and wait till later, like I said. Same thing with Diego Chara. 11.75 was the buy now. It didn't even go for that. But if you look here, there's not many cards on the market of him anymore. In particular, a ton of cards under 12K. So if you're consistent with this, they will eventually sell. And the more coins you have, the better this method works. If you have only like 50K, you maybe have a few cards under transfer list. Versus if you have millions of coins, you could fill all 100 places with special cards. And if one sells, boom, you made 1,000 plus coins most likely. And you do that over and over, you're going to continue making coins easily. You're going to be able to reinvest in more of these cards. And again, with the reinvestment side of things, you get the benefit both ways. If you're chucking one in your club at the low price and everything skyrockets back up to 12K plus, all these specials that you had in your club for 10.25, 10.5, 10.75, you now can sell for 12K plus. So this is something that you shouldn't do all the time, but you should be aware of the changes of prices and act accordingly. So sometimes a selling market makes more sense. Sometimes a buying market makes more sense. Sometimes there's a perfect in between where you can get a lot of snipes, win a ton of these, and make coins in the moment. It's really going to fluctuate and go all over the place. But as long as you're paying attention to it and you get more into it yourself, you're going to notice there are a ton of good deals to pick up. Now, last thing I'm going to show you before I go is two more filters. I'm going to show you one with, we did Hunter before. I'm going to show you Shadow and Anchor. They can do the same thing, and this usually helps you avoid most of the scream cards. But if I go in here for 11.5, 10.7, oh, no! That would have went for 12K plus. Dang, man, that would have been a really good pickup. But you'll notice here, there's not a ton of cards on the market. You'll see an open bid for this Woobin. We sold that Woobin for, I think, 13K with the Shadow the other day. So there's tons of deals in here. You see here the guy we picked up before, but he didn't have a Shadow on it. This one's going for 12K. Yeah, you just want to like search around, look for the lowest buy nows. You'll find opportunities like that where cards pop up with a really good chem style for cheap. You can take advantage of that. We'll do Anchor now real quick. Oh, let's go. I'm picking up both of these. I'm not getting a single one. I hate it here. She goes for like 13K. Dang, that would have been a really good pickup. But this Due, that seems like a really good duel. 99 defense for that Due. Anchor on him. I'm happy with that. We'll keep refreshing. We'll go back in. We could probably, too, if you had a ton of coins and you wanted to buy like this 11.25 and you notice there's not a ton on the market, you could list for like 12.5. Oh. Do I do it? Do I buy her for 12K? No, she's too low rated. You know. See, you sometimes have to compare price because some of these had way more value at some point and now not as much. You also, if you want to do more in plain sight, what I mean by in plain sight, if you've never heard me talk about that before, is raising the buy now price of whatever it is you're doing so that the low end of the market, things aren't instantly selling. You might have to scroll a bit to the 59th minute. But what it can also do is make a lot higher rated cards and a lot more expensive cards pop up. Yeah, that dude is already going for 12.75, so we could probably sell them for 13K plus. But doing this in plain sight, we can get to the 59th minute. We don't have to be instantly on it, but there might be stuff like this. Mancini, I don't know if that was a good pickup or not. I just bought it prematurely, but looks like he goes for 13K plus as is. I'm going to list that for 13.5. If we can get a sale, sweet. If not, I'll put it back down a little bit. But this is where it becomes really fun, man. This is where kind of doing these filters over and over, you get to learn prices little bit by little bit. And you can see there's just so much money in it. This is one of my favorite methods we do every single year. So I'm going to get off Anchor now, and I'm going to show you the last one. So you can do this promo by promo. I don't recommend this because this limits the market a ton. But here's a perfect example. Gil is the only 10.75 on the market. If we go to 11K, we have the 85 rated, which might actually be a good pickup. But there's not many cards on the market right now. As you see, the 10.75 is not selling instantly. And it's mainly due, 11K for him. Darun, we're taking that. 100% we're taking that. I'm going to check him up for 13. If he doesn't sell, we'll put him back in the club. No worries. We'll wait till prices go back up. But with all the Ultimate Scream cards being so cheap in price, this is what it looks like on the market for these to not sell instantly. But the nice thing with that too is if you sit on one of these filters, if these cards pop up, you can get a ton of really good deals potentially. So that's like another potential positive if you don't want to just look at the negatives. You can go through each of these. Some promos are going to be more expensive than others. You could do heroes. I would be cautious when doing heroes though, because these cards are always in packs usually. Right now they seem extremely cheap. If you want to learn like fluctuations and stuff, I'm sure there's a ton of coins in these, especially when people Evo heroes. Like it looks like Dempsey's the cheapest on the market, but after that, Kanu's the next one. If you see a crazy defender or something pop up, probably get some good snipes, but I'm personally staying away from that right now. Let's look at rating reloads real quick. We'll put this down to like 11K. 10.75. Boom. Look at that. Wharton for 10.5. Two of them. This card we sell for 12 to 13K all the time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chuck one in the club, forget about it, and we're going to put the other one up for maybe 12K, 12.5, and see how many sales we can make. And then once the other one goes, we get another one and do that over and over. Yeah, we just do this non-stop, dudes. That's essentially the method. If you have any more questions, feel free to let me know. You can sit at 10.5 and just scroll to the 59th minute if you want as well. Depending on how many cards are there. Like right now, there's a ton. I really don't encourage this just because of how much time it takes to get there. But we're going to try one last time just before we end this video to see if we can get another card to pop up like the Gomez that we sold for 13K. And pro tip, if you hold down the down button instead of just refreshing page by page, it goes almost instantly. So you can sit here and spam it. I'd maybe go like 5 minutes out. This works as well too if you're looking for cards that are from this promo, but Team 1. Like if you notice towards the 59th minute, we have a different card that's popping up. Like these two mainly pop up, but if we put in defenders, no defenders are popping up. But there's a Spanish defender and this Bundesliga one. Yeah, this guy I'm very curious about. I feel like these two at 11.75, if you can find a good chem style on them, you're cooking. It's like I'm not even going to put on Anchor or Shadow or anything. I'm just going to scroll through. Oh, he's starting to pop up for 10.5 again. 10.75 as well. We're going to pick up another one. But yeah, man, that's essentially it. You can mess around with this. You could put on Prem. You could put on La Liga. You could put on whatever kind of filter you want to set for yourself to see if more cards would pop up or better cards would pop up. Make it easier for you to get to the 59th minute. Do whatever you have to do. Mess around with it. And the cool thing about this is as the year goes on, as we get more and more promo cards, more and more cards are going to pop up in these filters. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, smack the like button, subscribe if you're new. It's been your boy MumboElite. I'm out. God bless.